Okay, folks, I put the intake and exhaust muffler for the combustion chamber on, and as you can see, the unit is completely off. Heard the click when you turn it first on, when you first turn it on, whatever, however you speak it. There's a little, barely audible click that comes out of the machine. And I have never run it with both mufflers on, but apparently that'll quiet it down considerably. And it did click, but I don't see this moving. So there you go, on. Now that's moving. See it? It's showing power, and it's showing that the combustion chamber is active. So let's see how much this little muffler changes the output of this unit. The fan is definitely spinning. Wow. Yeah, it is. 63 degrees. So yeah, there's no heat in this thing whatsoever. We'll know. We'll hear the pump click a couple times, and then you'll see a puff of smoke come out of the exhaust. Stand off to the side here. That's probably the best way to do it. I have it on full, I believe. 5.4. And I found out, guys, just so I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's on 5.4 hertz. There you go. We have smoke. It's on full blast. It's 19,000 BTUs at 5.4 kilowatts. So there we go. There's our ignition sequence. I don't know how much difference the silencers and mufflers make on this, but we're going to find out together. That's fair. There's an initial puff of fumes, which isn't annoying to me because I like the smell of diesel. Most women don't like the smell of diesel. And a lot of guys too. I shouldn't say women. Guys as well don't like the smell of diesel. It doesn't bother me. I like it. Grew up, spent many years driving medium and heavy duty wreckers and trucks, and diesel's my thing. So we're going through the fire up sequence. As you can see, it's smoking a little bit again. Still 51 degrees. That we see coming out of there now is steam. That is not smoke. That is most assuredly steam. Diesel fuel has a lot of water in it. And when it first ignites, the combustion chamber steams to get rid of all this. That's all steam, guys. As you can see, 22 feet away, it's moving that ribbon pretty good, and it's just now firing up. And I just tested the temp on the muffler, and it was 60 degrees, 51, so it should shortly be going up. Here we go. I guess so far the difference I'm noticing with the muffler on is the higher frequency noise, the whooshing, isn't as loud. Like it's a lot quieter. But it's definitely moving some hot air here, guys. Muffler still, can it be that cold? It is. It's cold. It's going to be a little warmer than that. It's going up fast though. So I don't think the muffler does much. Oh, look at the clouds out there, guys. That's in the south towns of New York. We have lake effect snow going on, so it's almost 100 degrees coming out the vent right now. It's 100 degrees, and that is some, like, listen, that is some serious airflow. You know, there's your proof. It's 20, almost 25 feet between the units and this piece of crime scene tape. And that did quiet it considerably. It's a lot quieter, actually. Muffler still? How is it so cool? Like the air coming out, like it's 60 degrees, but if I pointed in it, I'll tell you what, 400. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very well insulated little muffler, but it is a lot quieter. And I'd be willing to bet if you could get another piece of that stainless steel pipe to add to it, it would quiet it down even more. Huh, I'm impressed. We're at full chat right now. Full trot, whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's a full temp. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower it to the lowest. And I'll bet this thing is barely perceptible over traffic noise. So say if you were sleeping in your van, I bet you, like at night with this thing, again, this is just the air from this. None of the windows in here are open or anything. It's not windy at all, guys. It's this little thing right here is doing all that moving of the ribbon here. But I'd be willing to bet, so you feel that's on low, and it's still moving a considerable amount of air. It's 300 degrees in the center of the heat exchanger. And now it's going down to the lowest setting. So that's 1.4, which I believe is maybe 3 or 4 or 5,000 BTUs. Listen to this thing, guys. Draws 750 milliwatts at the lowest setting with the muffler on. Listen how quiet this is now. And mind you, it's still moving a considerable amount of air. Like you can hear it. I'm putting the phone up to it intentionally so you can hear the wind rustling through the microphone. And it's on low, and it's moving a lot of air. Like, there's my van. Yeah, it's a high top conversion. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's also 4-wheel drive. But I'm betting that I'd still, even at this, like, listen how quiet this is. Even at this lowest speed, I'm betting I would still have to keep a window open. Not that that's ever a bad idea, but listen to how quiet this is with the muffler on. It's running. Let's see what we got. 70, 80 degrees on the outside. .130 out of the center of the muffler. That muffler did make a big difference. I do have a decibel meter, which I will bring out. .255 degrees out of the vent. That's at the center of the heat exchanger. 255 degrees. Lowest setting. I'm sure you can hear the wind blowing across it. That is very warm. Like legitimate very warm. Oh yeah. So in a van it's maybe what, 40, 50? No, it's gonna be more than that. Like 120 cubic feet maybe. That, on that setting, will keep that probably 75, 80 degrees in there with a window cracked or two windows cracked. And now in New York here, as you can see, those are snow clouds. In the middle of winter, we get the 60-mile-an-hour winds, especially, well, not that I'd be camping here, but I do camp. Middle of winter, in an open field, you know, the trees lost all their leaves. Think about it. That's some serious heat, very little noise, nothing power draw, 6 batteries in this van, 4 1200 amp AGM, 2000 amp up front. That'll run this thing for a week. Apparently on this setting it'll run for 52 hours on a gallon, or maybe that's a tank. I don't know. You know, again, there's a lot lost in translation with these Chinese diesel heaters, but hear the noise? It's nothing. Like, we could converse, we could watch TV, we could listen to the radio. The noise of this at this speed and the amount of heat that's coming out of it, still enough to move that around. So I'm saying this is a win, guys, for $160 delivered to your door. There's the noise. That's all the noise you're going to hear at that setting. That is more than enough to heat the van, or even a small, like maybe a 20-foot camper, motorhome, RV. I can tell you this already. I know enough about heaters. I have one of those 3800, it's a 38 or 4800 BTU Coleman convection propane little heaters that mount to the top of a 1 pound gas or a 1 pound propane. And that, once it's warm inside of this van, because it's like I said, the roof's insulated, floor, everything's insulated in this damn thing, doors, everything. Once this is warmed up, if like I go to where I'm camping and the last 10 minutes of driving, or as I'm setting up, I leave it running with the heat blasting and turn on that little, I forget the name of it. I think it's Black Max or Black Jack. It's like a little pancake convection heater. It's 100% efficient. That on high is almost intolerable in here. And I think that's 3,800 or 4,800 BTUs. But it uses propane, and as you all know, propane creates a lot of humidity, a lot of water in the air, and that's something you don't want in these vans, because, well, in any small thing, camper, RV, whatever, you don't want a lot of moisture, because then your windows freeze up, and you got your honeycomb memory foam mattress and all that. It just makes it makes everything damp, and it just screws shit up. This is 100% dry heat, and this is the very lowest setting. And background noise is more than this is making. I'm almost thinking about making a setup for it, mounting this to something like this shelf and closing it in it, and then just figuring out some way of running a vent from this, like maybe even putting a battery on the shelf and leaving this whole unit outside and running a vent into the van. It would be nice if I could leave this outside, say right by the wheel here, and run an insulated tube into the ducting of the van. But I know I'm going to have to mount it, you know, inside, of course. But I bet even with this little shelf here, if you enclosed it so it wouldn't be bothered by the elements, you could run some type of ducting, like even the factory ducting, although it's not insulated, and somehow get it in through a window or maybe even a wheel well with a hole cut in it, plumb it to it. I bet that would work. Man, I'm that guy that thinks about shit. So anyhow, let's do the shutdown thing here. We're going to get it to shut off. We're at the lowest speed, so it should do it relatively quickly. The muffler never got hot, 64 degrees. The pipe, though, I bet is quite a bit more. Yeah, it's 100. You can hear the shift in the noise coming from the heat exchanger. Wow, this thing really is blowing out some heat, guys. $200 degrees, 180. It's off. It's going through the shutdown sequence. Now I can smell diesel. Damn it! Drop the stuff here. Thermostat here. And you'll hear it do a couple of little belches as it gets rid of the unburnt hydrocarbons. Hear it? Fan ramps up a little bit to clear out the combustion chamber. I am totally impressed, guys. So it was 161 HappyBuy. I'll post the link on my YouTube channel. But yeah, those little mufflers make all the difference. I'm impressed. There you go. Now it's turning off. Still 66 degrees. It's strange. Again, it's going through a shut-off cycle. This is when I noticed, as I said in my earlier video, earlier part of this video, when I noticed that I seem to smell a lot of diesel. But I realize what that is. It's just the unit, the pump's been off, so it's cleaning out whatever diesel is left in the combustion chamber. And it's ramping up the speed of the fan to dry it out. And, for a Chinese thing, it's actually, there's a lot of thought and a lot of engineering that go into these. And I mean, we all know that all they're doing is doing knockoffs of other brands. And this is like word for word almost, in the way it's set up and part for part, the same thing as one of those Everschwacker diesel, the $1,800 diesel heaters. Like part for part, it's almost identical. I don't see much different. Like quality control is there. You can tell there's been some thought put to it, but whereas Everschwacker, or whatever other company makes these, on the outside of the combustion chamber, these aluminum heat exchangers, they're sharp edges. Now, you're never going to see that, nor are you ever going to handle it. So the difference is the German ones, the Everschwackers or whatever they're made, those are probably ground down and buffed out, and they look pretty and all that. Whereas on these Chinese ones, they're not. But I mean, almost part for part identical to the $1,800, $1,900 versions of these things. And there you go. And now she's done. It's cooled down. Sorry, guys, I got allergies really bad. It's that time of the year. Still 66 degrees on the muffler. The body of this thing should be in the 50s, which of course it is. Heat exchangers, I don't know how much the heat exchanger is going to be at, but yeah, see, so it's got to drop under 100 degrees. But like this thing is just 100% cold to the touch, like legitimately cold. And we were just pumping, almost 20,000 BTUs out of it. So I'm impressed. I highly recommend it. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a follow. I'm going to start doing a lot more of this stuff. I'm really getting into the van life thing here. Not van life. Look, I'm not looking for fame. You're not going to see me taking pictures of, with no shirt on, looking at my back while I look out the back of my fucking van, over some fucking mountain range or some fake, CGI generated pond in the middle of nowhere. But what you will see is me doing mechanical shit, like taking a Savana, making it full-time selectable four-wheel drive, throwing 2015 Silverado stuff on it, and, making a legitimate, off-grid, outer bounds capable van. I wanted something with an LS engine, a shit ton of batteries. I do have solar panels, but I just don't feel like dealing with them. So I got a little, well, it's not little. I got a 4,000 watt propane generator over there. I also have a diesel generator over there, but I got a propane one. I don't need it. I've got enough battery power. And I'm not going to sit around at a campground all day. I'm going to go out and explore. I'm going to go to the store every day. I have a queen size bed in there, which is a little much. Queen size bed. I've got a boat refrigerator, compressor fridge. I've got a stove oven combo propane run, and sink and all that stuff that I'm eventually going to put in there. I got 2 TVs in there, in motion satellite and a roof, a whole bunch of stuff that's going to go in here. It's a 2005 GMC Savana. It's a 4-wheel drive conversion, brand new transmission, brand new 6.2 liter LS3 V8 with the VVT removed with aftermarket cams. Aftermarket cam and VVT and AFM removed. 4L65E transmission, fully built, about a 450 horsepower capable transmission. It's got a tuner on it. I've got a lot of stuff I've done to this van, and this van, as you see it, has 260,000 miles on it, I think. Again, brand new engine, brand new transmission, brand new transfer case, brand new axles. 2015 Silverado gave its life for this van. So it runs fine, passed inspection, everything's been done to it. I'm just now getting to the stuff like that one door's got a little rust on it. It is an 8-door, it has doors on both sides. So I'm setting it up so that if I want to go into the middle of nowhere and get this bitch stuck, I can get it stuck. I'm getting a winch for the front, a winch for the back. I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff for this thing. And if you want to stay tuned and find out, what I do with it, you're more than welcome to. And, give us a thumbs up if you like it. You guys have a great day. And if you're in Western New York, we're about to get snow, guys. Have a good day.